Let's get rolling here. I told Mia I'd make a family with her after this on Sims, not a real family.
In the Sims.
Here we fucking go! You're listening to Bread and Circuses.
Was like the mob media for one is the entire world populated. Like everybody's on Twitter. Fucking the UK is on Twitter. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Unfortunately.
With Caleb Salvatore.
Well, they can't go to the comedy shows because there's a 2-drink minimum, and you can't mix the Percocet you've been stealing from work with liquor.
And Nick Kohler.
there literally be people in the fucking 80s that didn't know that nutting in a girl would make her pregnant.
No one's asked that question. What did those families do to provoke Alex Jones like that?
You know what'll solve all of these racial police protests? A Pepsi.
What the fuck is up, friends? Welcome to this week's episode of Bread Circuses. We're a little bit late. A little bit of chaos going on in my house right now. If you're watching on the video, you'll notice the background's a little different. That's because of the chaos. Mia's got COVID. I, again, don't have any symptoms, just like the last time she had it, because you can't catch a virus that you don't believe is real. So
yeah, Caleb doesn't believe in it, so he doesn't catch it.
I can't get. It's just like Santa. You don't believe in Santa, you won't get any presents. You don't believe in Jesus, you won't
Christmas
go to heaven.
Bells. Yeah, you don't believe in Santa, you don't hear the Christmas bells.
Yep. You don't believe in Jesus, you don't go to heaven. You don't believe in COVID, you don't get COVID. That's how it fucking works. And fortunately, one of our dogs had like a mite or worm infestation a couple months ago. So we've still got some ivermectin saved up. So I've just been giving her that for the last couple days. Do you really have
ivermectin for that? I wouldn't be surprised if you actually did. Like
for COVID?
Yeah. No, for the worms.
The Chihuahua had like some type of mite, and there was like an ivermectin drug they gave it, and there was like one package left over, and I was like, look, because I was giving her the cold and flu. I was like, why don't you just take this? And I pulled out the ivermectin from the dog.
That's funny. Yeah, we didn't do an episode over the weekend too, because your boy Nick had to take his finals for freaking his college classes because he's being a dork. So
and my foot was broken into several pieces over the weekend too, so we wouldn't have been able to do that anyway.
Yeah, how'd you break your foot, man?
Dude, so I blew my ankle out years ago, like probably if not high school, right after high school, playing basketball. Just landed on it goofy, nothing special. Nothing broke. It was just a really bad sprain. But like, if you know a thing or two about ankle sprains, it's that shit can haunt you for the rest of your fucking life if you're not careful about it. Well, I wasn't. I was an idiot 18-year-old kid. I was playing basketball like 2 days later on it. And I think I went out that night. And like ever since then, my ankle is good to just collapse on me 2 to 3 times a year for no reason. Like I'll step on a piece of ground that's not even and it just gives out. And 99% of the time, it's never anything serious. I think the worst thing that's happened was like it was a sprain for a couple days, and then I was fine. But like I could tell I was getting better. Well, this time I heard something pop, and I couldn't put any weight on it, and I was like, "Oh fuck!" This was the big one. And like literally, all I was doing was walking to my car, and I just stepped on a crack between the sidewalk and the grass, and that was all it took. And I just collapsed. I was screaming in pain, and I had to I had to crawl up the fucking stairs to my apartment just to get back into my apartment. And then I collapsed again when I realized how much pain that caused. And I was writhing in pain for several minutes. And the neighbors were later on like, yeah, we heard you. I'm like, oh, thanks for checking on me.
That's what happens when you be fucking bugging them for the fucking
yeah, no shit, right?
They heard about that. They're like, I ain't helping him, he gonna bug me.
Well, yeah, so it just collapsed. I gave it a couple days and went to the urgent care. They x-rayed it, and they're like, yeah, it's fractured. You need to go to an orthopedic doctor. And they said probably don't need surgery, but go to an orthopedic doctor and they'll tell you if you do for sure. Well, the next day we found out she had COVID, so I can't go anywhere now. It's my right foot that's broken, so I can't even drive. So it's like,
damn, man, that's rough.
it's fortunately we've had a lot of people, a lot of friends and family that have come through and helped us out. So it's not like it. I mean, obviously it's not an ideal circumstance, but it's not as intolerable as it would have been if people weren't here for us. So
Watch next month, first month of the year, Mia's gonna break her foot, and then you're gonna get COVID.
well, we've already been over why I can't get COVID, so I appreciate the
This is the thing that turns the new rock for it. I ain't gonna start believing in it.
Well, I've been talking, Matt. Like technically, I'm only on day 6 of my exposure, so 2 or 3 more days and I'm in the clear. But I've been talking mad shit. Like I feel like I'm doing my victory dance before I'm in the end zone here. You know what I'm saying?
I think you're probably just like seriously medically immune to it. Like when I had COVID,
Yeah.
like a bunch of the people that were around me just didn't get it either.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm also vaccinated too. So like it's, you know, I now don't throw the vaccine
so
thing out
you
there
just
because
so you just are autistic now.
yeah, that's right. I just have autism and what's a myocarditis.
That's actually what broke your foot was the vaccine. It took a little bit to work.
Vaccine broke my
The
foot.
vaccine broke your foot, dude. The fracture was already there. You know, the sprain just aggravated it.
Yep, the vaccine is what did it. Like it. Well, I mean, no, I mean, a year ago, neither of us were vaccinated, and she got it, and I didn't. So, I mean, I don't know. So, I'm not a fucking doctor.
It's
Who
a
knows,
fuck.
man?
You know what it is? It's fucking the COVID just doesn't like Italians, man.
That's
It's like I ain't getting in that fucking whop ass body, dude. Are you kidding me?
Our blood is just pure olive oil, man. They can't olive oil and grease. They don't know what to do. It gets in there and it just dies. Doesn't stand a fucking chance. That's
you remember those memes like last year that would come that you would see where it'd be like COVID half when it sees the fucking like Flintstone vitamin they took 10 years ago or whatever, and it's like something like beating the fucking COVID's ass, like
the Flintstone vitamin. I don't know. Like I take all the shit you're supposed to take, the vitamin D, C, B12, magnesium, all that kind of stuff that you're supposed, zinc. I take all that stuff every day. So maybe that's why I don't get sick. Like
I was taking vitamin D for probably like 6 months until I started doing school in person again.
Yeah.
And then ever since I started doing school in person and I get out of the house and like walk around campus every day, I get like tan. I've been like tan from this semester. So I haven't needed to. Yeah, I've been actually getting enough sunlight now. So
that's another thing is you don't want to if you are getting a ton of sunlight, like people that work outside, they're not supposed to take vitamin D because there's such thing as vitamin D poisoning, and like that can cause like serious complications, like put you in the ER.
Isn't taking too much vitamin D I know it's with calcium, but doesn't that kind of help contribute to getting kidney stones too if you take too much vitamin D?
That I'm not sure. I've just heard of like being like violently ill.
Yeah, let's look up symptoms of
vitamin D poisoning.
Too much vitamin D. Oh, broken foot, dude. What's up?
Fuck off.
Yeah, nausea, vomiting, weakness, frequent peeing, toxicity can cause progress to bone pain and kidney problems.
Oh, there it is.
Calcium stones. Yeah.
Bones.
That's what I thought. I thought I had heard that too much vitamin D can help like contribute to having kidney stones. So
I'm sure.
There you go. You know, I didn't just make that up. So some truth behind that, you know.
Yep. But no, I think she's finally turning the corner. She just doesn't feel great, but when she gets the, like, you know how men get the man cold? Same thing. So every time she gets sick,
waking up on the Tuesday, like, oh, I'm so sick, honey. Oh. Like, I can't take out the garbage. Oh.
Yeah, no, I guess I've had a little bit of fatigue, but that's probably just like having a broken foot and trying to deal with
that's probably household. Just me being a little pussy, but you know.
Yeah, just being a little pussy, bleeding little cunt, you know, like what else? What else can I say?
When I had COVID, that's basically what my ex thought the whole time. It's just like fucking like asphyxiating while I'm sleeping. She's like, she's being fucking dramatic, dude. Yeah. Like
you're just trying, you're sitting there fucking dying. You should probably be in the hospital. It's
literally like waking up in the middle of the night from like not being able to draw enough oxygen. Like when somebody that's like fucking 60 years old that needs to wear a CPAP when they sleep. I'm fucking doing that at 26. And they're
Yeah.
like, nah, he's just being dramatic, dude. He's fucking being annoying.
You got asthma from it, didn't you?
Yeah, I fucking have asthma now. I have inhalers that I take whenever I do like intense fucking like cardio or anything, dude.
I know someone who got COVID that lost their sense of like taste for like 11 months. And she
Really?
says like it's back now, but like every now and then she'll just be brushing her teeth and it'll taste like gasoline just out of nowhere.
She's tried gasoline before. I mean,
I guess. I mean, didn't we all as kids? Like, fuck. I always thought that shit smelled good, you know? Like,
what is it from stuck starting to siphon fuel out of cars? Like,
I mean, you didn't grow up in Council Bluffs, man. Like, fuck.
I know, right?
So,
No, my yeah, I didn't lose my taste, but I lost my smell for like
Yeah.
like 6-7 months, and
didn't you say like when it was coming back, you just like randomly smell like dead animal carcass? Or
it
some
would
shit
smell
like, yeah.
kind of like that. Yeah, I would just get like a whiff of something that wasn't there, and it would smell like a dead animal, like a dead mouse or something. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you smell like a dead possum in the fucking front yard, and you can't. It's like real slight, you know, and you're like,
Yeah.
damn, what is that?
Yeah.
It was just like it would just be like that at like
It's called having a stroke.
yeah, right. Just COVID gave me a stroke.
That happened. Didn't that happen to somebody? Or was it the vaccine?
Probably somewhere.
Was that the
Probably
vaccine?
the vaccine too.
I'm sure the vaccine is
The
caused.
vaccine made my kid fail his math class. That's the story I'm sticking to. The vaccine made me get a B in my accounting class. That's what happened.
I saw this lady, she posted, it was a TikTok, and it was one of those like all I want for Christmas things. And she says, all I want for Christmas is to be able to vaccinate my 2-year-old. And I'm like, what a fucking cult this has turned into. This whole vaccine.
Why can't she
thing.
vaccinate her 2-year-old?
They
They don't have
I
the
don't think they're
vaccines
cleared yet, are they?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man.
I wouldn't vaccinate my kid. I don't know. It's
I mean, I already vaccinate my kid, but
well,
not like for COVID.
not for COVID. No, I mean,
vaccines.
I'd vaccinate my kid for like fucking like measles and shit. Yeah, that's just not for COVID.
Rubella and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, that for like polio. Yeah, I'd vaccinate my kid for that. I just wouldn't do it for COVID.
Polio is a scam. Hashtag.
Well, I mean,
FDR was just being a pussy.
polio did do a good thing for us when it took FDR out. So, you know, that's fucking, well, what can you say?
Yeah, right.
So do you know who Gabrielle Stone is? Have you heard of her? We're going to bring this up.
I think so.
So she wrote that book about, it's called Eat, Pray, FML, or Eat, Sleep, FML, something like that. She wrote a book about how her ex-husband cheated on her with a 19-year-old girl and
Nice.
went on vacation with the girl's parents, told him his name was Daniel, like all these fucking lies and shit. And the girl found out, and the girl's parents found out, and he divorced the wife and left her for the 19-year-old girl and all that shit. So the wife is Gabrielle Stone, who is the daughter of the mother from E.T., just completely random, D. Stone, wrote a book about this and named his character in it Daniel. And it was like a New York Times bestseller, and this was all on a TikTok. So the Legion of Skanks picked this up, and the Legion of Skanks just made fun of it. And they were talking about
what's her name? Gabrielle
Stone. And they were talking about, they're like, this chick's like semi-fuckable. Imagine how hot this other girl must have been.
I looked up Gabrielle Stone, and it's literally just a bunch of fucking like stone tablets on Google.
Maybe it's
dude.
something. Maybe it's something else. Let me fact check it real quick. Gabrielle, I'm pretty sure it's Gabrielle Stone.
What's the name of the book?
Yeah, Gabrielle Stone, American actress. The book is called Eat, Pray, FML.
Gabrielle Stone, American actress. Yeah, she must be real fucking popping if a bunch of random stone tablets.
Maybe you're spelling it wrong. I popped right up when I.
No,
when
I had to. I did spell it wrong. She's with
okay.
Gabrielle Stone.
Yeah, Gabrielle. Yeah, so they made fun of her. It was a really brief segment on their show, and she snaps back with like her sitting by a pool sipping wine, like challenging them to come on and debate it on their show. And
what's the debate?
And they're like, no, we're not doing this. So they pulled out a segment of her audiobook and they played it on the show. And she talks about in the book, and this isn't the book she wrote, this is like her autobiography. she talks in the book about how she was the first one when she was like 12 years old to find her father dead. And they assumed it was from suicide. He had actually died of a heart attack. So, of course, Louis J. Gomez is on there going, oh, wow, men in her life just have a history of walking out.
Oh, my God.
And so they're like, we're not going to fucking debate you. And Dave Smith chimes in. He goes, just think of us as the next 3 guys to ghost you, okay? And they were just rough. So out of nowhere, Big J. Okerson chimes in. And he's like, yeah, I can't wait to turn the next page. You want to know where I learned how to suck dick? My uncle. It was just ruthlessness on this woman. So she's pretty popular on TikTok. So she launches a TikTok response. And all the Legion of Skanks, like we talk about it on here sometimes. I enjoy it. It's a pretty niche thing, though. Like if you don't know what it is, if you're not involved in that type of subculture, you don't know what it is. So all the people that thought that my Thanksgiving TikTok went too far and was offensive and whatever got exposed to Legion of Skanks in what it was possibly one of their worst moments. And she shared it on TikTok and got like 1 million views. And
they're gonna get some new audience members.
Yeah,
this is all
they
said
got
and
some
done.
new audience members, but they also had people like writing their sponsors. They BetterHelp dropped them as a sponsor, so if you're using BetterHelp, get rid of it. They believe in cancel culture, and we should cancel them.
I mean, dude, it's Legion of Skanks. Like,
right? You had to know what you were getting into.
The name is Legion of Skanks. Who the fuck is sponsoring them that doesn't know like what they're like? Who is just like, oh yeah, there's this podcast called Legion of Skanks, dude. I'm sure they make fucking quality content about fucking hairstyles and shit.
I'm sure it's wholesome. Yeah, I'm sure it's really wholesome. Dude. Like
what? Who dropped them?
BetterHelp, the psychiatrist thing, the online like
online
telehealth. Yeah, dude. Here's my thing. BetterHelp company Bluetooth threatened to the men's erectile dysfunction thing. Dude, here's my thing. BetterHelp, Bluetooth, companies like that, they're big enough. If you're taking on a podcast as a sponsor, they know what it's about. Like it'd be completely irresponsible.
They probably just did it because they didn't want to fuck it. They probably target like Gen Zers as their like target demographic, and then they're like, oh well, the fucking TikTokers are on the Gen Zers.
To be real though, online fucking mental therapy website that TikTok people are probably a lot bigger target demographic than Legion of Skanks listeners for them because they have a lot more issues.
Exactly. That's literally their target demographic is the depressed fucking teens and shit and young 20-somethings on TikTok. Like
they try to cancel people on TikTok. You have to be mentally ill to try to do that.
Dude, they'll be fine. Who fucking gives a shit? Like fuck those.
Oh no, they don't care.
Them. Yeah.
But
if anything, I would rip her harder, dude. I would fucking keep going at it.
They did, so they doubled down because the mom tweeted them. The mom from ET tweeted at them and was like, "How dare you rehash the most traumatic moment of my daughter's life?" And they're like, "Excuse me, it was a heart attack. I'm sorry, but that just makes it even worse because that means that you two fucking nagging bitches being in his life stressed him out and killed him."
You two nagging bitches. Holy shit, dude.
So they doubled down in true Legion of Skanks fashion. I have to admire it. Like these internet wars.
It's like somebody trying to cancel South Park, dude.
Right.
Like, you just can't. They didn't build an audience on like fucking sensitive little twats. Like, you know what I mean? That's not their fucking audience. Like, and
that's the thing, man, is that you got people like Legion of Skanks, people like Rogan, people like Dave Chappelle, South Park. Stuff like that. They don't fucking care. They're uncancelable.
They're comedians that don't give a shit. You know what I mean?
Their audience
people that make entertainment content that just don't give a fuck. Like that's what somebody on YouTube, like somebody like PewDiePie or something, dude. I mean, like he had that thing with the N-word, but that's really the only thing I've ever seen that like the dude still is like the most subscribed fucking person on YouTube. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't give a fuck. Like
well, I don't know, man. I used to say that about Alex Jones, and look at him now. I mean, he's still doing his thing, but
I mean, Alex Jones was like, I think a little extra step. You know what I mean? Like Alex Jones was pretty fucking insane. Like
there were Legion of Skanks is. You're right. Legion of Skanks is like offensive humor. South Park is offensive humor. Alex Jones had some real world consequences to what he was saying and doing. Like when he acknowledges that he has an audience full of people that are psychotic and some that are schizophrenic.
You know what happened actually is Alex Jones just dabbled too much in politics with it being ridiculous, and that's a problem. So.
Dude, if he would have just stayed doing what he was doing, he would have been fine, and I don't think anyone would have fucked with him. I think it just would have been the meme thing that it used to be. But now it's like once you start having some real world effects and shit. I mean, like it's like I said, man, he said that on the Joe Rogan Experience, Alex Jones said, I get messages daily. Retarded. Well, yeah, he said that. But he said, I get messages daily from people that are schizophrenic. Half my audience is psychotic. When you say that and when you acknowledge things like that, you have a little bit of a responsibility to not tell them to do crazy shit. Like, don't tell them to go and investigate the Sandy Hook families. Don't tell them
the fucking pizza restaurant.
Yeah. You can't tell them to go do that and then be like, well, I didn't have anything to do with it. I'm like, dude, you told these people that probably think you're talking to them through fucking God or something like that to go investigate this shit. And what did you think was gonna happen, man?
Yeah, I mean that's 100% true. Like, yeah, Alex. And it's funny because Alex Jones had been doing that shit for fucking decade, like more than a decade, man. Like. I seriously think it's just he drew too much target on himself.
Yeah.
When he, you know, whether or not you want to like it or not, like Alex Jones really did like kind of indirectly help get Trump elected.
A weird way.
Well, because he would do those things where he'd go interview the dumbass fucking like blue hairs on the street. And make them, and then people would just take those clips and like share them on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and all this shit. Yep. I didn't know it came from Alex Jones and his crew, but they did. And that was, I remember those were some of the first videos that were like really kind of starting to make everybody be like, I don't want fucking Hillary in office, dude. This is her fucking voter base. Like, yeah.
Well, and that's the thing with Alex Jones is he's got a bunch of reporters that you've never even heard of. So it's like when you see him.
If you see that out of context, if you see that out of context, you don't know that that's at the Alex Jones. What was his fucking show called again? It was called
InfoWars.
InfoWars. Yeah, you don't know that's InfoWars, dude. Or I mean, dude, even if you're like not, which the average fucking person is not really that deep into like internet, fucking like the internet culture and stuff, they're not gonna know what InfoWars is. You know what I mean?
Who's the other guy that does that? The Mark Dice.
Dude, I don't even. That's the same. I don't even know. Like,
there was one. Mark Dice. Yeah, he had one. He went around and asked people, "Do you think if there was stricter gun laws at the time, that John Hinckley still would have been able to assassinate Jesus?"
I guess people were like, "Oh yeah." Like,
there were yeses and there were nos. It was like, I mean, those guys sit out there all day. And they get a bunch of people that know what they're talking about, and then they'll take like the one dumbass because that's what makes the video, right? I mean, that's how that shit
dumbass
goes.
That works at Pet Boys.
Yeah, you get the guy. Yeah, exactly. You get the guy that like the dumb surfer bro or whatever, and that's who they'll go after, and they'll make them the highlight of the video. There's majority of the people probably, they may not have a great understanding, but they know John Hinckley didn't shoot Jesus. Like, that's just
that's
like
funny.
The average person can stop and be like, hold on, that doesn't make sense. Like, what does that mean? There was it's like there was a survey. And they a while back, and they put it out. They said 24% of Americans think Judge Judy is on the Supreme Court. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I clicked on it, and they just they gave out a bunch of names. They said, which of these pick 9 of these people that you believe are on the Supreme Court. And it was just Judge Judy's government name. It was like Judith whatever. And like people just picked it. So I'm like, yeah, they probably couldn't name all 9 Supreme Court justices.
I mean, yeah, you could argue that that's something people should know, but I mean, like, dude, why the fuck does anybody who's not involved in like law or anything, like, you know what I mean? Why does fucking John, every guy that fucking works as a computer programmer for PayPal, need to fucking know who the Supreme Court any of them are? You know what I mean?
People don't have the time to memorize that shit. We're not in high school.
That guy could laugh at you and be like, "Oh, you don't know fucking C+ computer language? What a fucking idiot!"
Right?
Like, it's like, shut up, dude. Like,
yeah, everyone could make fun of people for for not knowing how to do something, except Joe Biden. He just has dementia. So like that's a given.
I don't think needing to know all the Supreme Court justices rather than like knowing what the Supreme Court actually does.
Right.
You know, I mean, I think everybody who's a citizen has kind of like a civic duty to understand kind of the basic workings of our government because they vote.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think if you vote, you should at least know what you're voting for. So
Yeah.
like, but needing like knowing who the fucking judges are doesn't really, I mean, what does that accomplish? Like, oh, cool. Like it's a cool bar trick, you know what I mean?
Right. Right. So do you think they're going to strike down the abortion thing? They're going to repeal Roe versus Wade?
The Supreme Court?
Yeah.
I have no idea. I honestly don't think so. People want to think that the Supreme Court is biased, but like I
Yeah.
think as far as like biased goes in government, I think
Mhm.
the Supreme Court is definitely shown to be the least biased
Yeah,
of
I agree.
all. Even like Gorsuch, man, it's
Mhm.
like it was like
Even
striking
Kavanaugh.
down, yeah, and Kavanaugh and shit. They were like striking down shit that would have like was like right wing fucking
Mhm.
agenda. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like what was it? There was something with gay marriage, wasn't it, or something
There
like
was
that?
some with gay there was gay marriage they protected, and then Trump with the election, the stop the steal thing.
Yeah, like dude, the Supreme Court like don't give a shit about partisanship. It's
No.
like they're there for
There's-
life, dude. Like
that's the thing is I think Trump thought that he put 3 of those people on there so they like owed him one and then they could try and convince 2 more. But I'm like, dude, those are like those aren't just clown politicians that fell into office.
they're not even politicians at all.
I know.
They're fucking judges.
They're
Like,
judges
are-
that
yeah.
work their whole lives to get there. They're not gonna like just tarnish their reputation because of some conspiracy theory that you created.
Well, that's one of the reasons why Supreme Court judges are there for life. Is so they're
Yeah.
not. Is so they're not fucking subject to political pressure. when
Yeah,
they're
and
in
having to
there.
get reelected and shit.
Yeah, the only way they can get removed is like doing something illegal. You know what I
Or
mean?
dying.
Or dying. Yeah. In RBG's case, you know, she could be dead for like 3 years, propped up on. She could be legally dead for 3 years and still be on the fucking Supreme Court. You know?
They weekend at Bernie's her.
Yeah, they probably did, dude. That fucking walking ghoul, dude. They just cast some fucking necromancy spell shit on her to raise her up as a fucking zombie, and she's just sitting there on the Supreme Court panel, like
voodoo shit.
yeah, they fucking there's a voodoo person like rise.
Like, why does it smell like sage in the courtroom
Yeah.
all the time?
They eventually
fuck
had
is
to
going on?
retire. They eventually had to say she was dead because her fucking jaw rotted off, and they can't just fucking get rid of that. You know what I mean? Like
The stitches quit holding, man. They had to. They're like, no, we can't sell it anymore. We're gonna have to go with it. Like, you couldn't hold on
Ruth
to the end
Bader-
of the Trump thing.
Ruth Bader Frankenstein finally fucking disintegrated away in her robes. And now she's down in hell with her friend John McCain.
John McCain and Rush Limbaugh.
And Rush Limbaugh, exactly.
Yep.
Rush
That's-
Limbaugh's pasty ass.
When she died, like within 10 minutes of finding out her dying, I tweeted, "What do you think RBG and Rush Limbaugh are up to in hell right now?" I like to offend both sides. Like, I'm equal opportunity offender.
I like to go with it with John McCain. So.
Well, I mean, he's certainly in hell. There's no question.
Anybody that helped contribute to the invasion of Iraq is fucking
John,
and his dad is certainly burning in hell right now. So
there is a seat reserved for Dick Cheney right next to John McCain.
what are you talking about? Dick Cheney fucking was like a baron of hell, dude. He's fucking going back to his office in like the fucking fourth plane, dude.
Dick Cheney's another Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I feel like the neocons just keep him up and running for God knows what. Dick Cheney's like your grandma's dog that's like 19 years old and she's got like 15 grand in surgeries invested in it to keep it alive, and it's like, why are you doing this? Put the thing out of its misery, man.
Dick Cheney is like a fucking like a corrupt governor in like a fucking Old West movie, but like a modern version of it, dude. He's like such a fucking like evil dude.
Oh, he's a ghoul. He's a fucking
dude.
scumbag.
He's a villain, man. Like they helped contribute to starting the fucking Iraq war and profited off of it. He got away with shooting a guy in the face with a shotgun. Like, what the fuck, man?
What did that guy have on him? That's what I want to know.
I think he's just being a dumbass and he shot him, but like that's you know what I mean. That shouldn't excuse you.
No.
The guy was probably like got paid off. He's fucking half
Oh,
his
sure.
face is missing, and they're like, take this $100 million.
He got him with birdshot. I bet he's doing okay.
Yeah,
He's
I
not too
don't know,
fucked
man.
Dick Cheney, man. What's the who's the other scumbag career politician? I know there's a lot of them. Fuck,
I know that one
his...
Kentucky guy is still in.
Oh, McConnell. That's who it is. The turkey-looking motherfucker.
McConnell's a big part of that, but a lot of those guys aren't really involved in politics anymore.
McConnell and Pelosi, both of them. Like, what kind of fucking cretins are those people? Like, Jesus Christ. How many
politicians, man?
They're disgusting. It's
like scumbags.
Well, have you seen the Nancy Pelosi investment tracker?
No.
So Nancy Pelosi, there is a Reddit and TikTok and Twitter accounts dedicated to following, because like all politicians, all their investments have to be made public, right? Dedicated to following her investments and
stock watchers.
She's like never
portfolio.
She has better returns on her investment than Warren Buffett. She's never taken a loss. It's like clear, blatant insider trading. Like people are out there, they're like, Nancy Pelosi's a fortune teller. She can see the future. Like it's fucking.
Let's see, total trade volume, $51 million combined volume of asset sales and purchases.
Yeah.
Damn, girl.
Yeah. She makes hella money. And my guess is she was one of them that dumped their stock right before the COVID thing happened. I know Feinstein was.
2020, quarter 2, 2020, quarter 1, 2020. Yeah. She certainly had a lot of activity around that time. That is for sure.
Jesus Christ. What a fucking joke, man.
Wholesale of Facebook stock.
Meta.
And
it's
last
Meta.
summer, last August, dude. That's fucking nuts, man.
Is it just me, or are they really pushing this Meta thing? Because I feel like the general public doesn't want anything to do with it. The metaverse, like the virtual world and everything.
Oh, you know what, man? There's already something that's like that. It's called VR chat. It's on Steam. It's a pretty popular game on there.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Facebook isn't fucking new or anything with that.
Oh.
But
Facebook just makes it seem like a way more dystopian, creepy version, though.
Yeah, dude. Don't you remember the "Do you know the way" fucking meme and shit? Like a couple years ago, that started on that VR chat with somebody using basically on that VR chat game. You can import your own custom avatar.
Yeah,
and people just do dumb shit, man. You see people walking around as Master Chief from Halo, or you see people walking around as Sailor Moon, you know what I mean? It's just it's totally the fucking Wild West of the internet.
Is that on Oculus, or is that
you can play it just regularly on Steam, but it's set up to where you can play with any kind of VR software. But,
okay.
I mean, people will just play it with fucking walking, you know what I mean? Just mouse and keyboard, and it's just a chat. It's just a chat thing. That's all you do is talk to people on it. So
can you fight on it or no?
I mean, you can argue with people, but everyone on there is kind of a fucking weirdo. So it's most of the time you're on there, you try to argue with somebody that's just gonna be fucking stupid to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's what's that app we used to fuck around on? Whisper. Whisper.
Do you ever remember when you were a kid using something called either Club Penguin?
Yes.
Or
RuneScape?
Habbo? I did it on Habbo Hotel when I was a kid. That was my fucking place where I'd go and be stupid on a social media website, or a social chat type thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's basically a VR version of that.
Yeah. Okay. Club Penguin would crack down on you. Did you ever play that RuneScape game?
I did for a little bit, but not really. Yeah,
we used to play that one. What's it? No, do you remember that Whisper app we used to fuck around on?
Yeah.
I was
fuck around on.
It was no, I'm banned from it.
You finally got banned,
I got
dude?
Permanently banned. I don't even remember what
That's so lame, dude.
Me and Nick We used to go on this Whisper app, and like we would just say we would just shit on all, just like we do on here, just shit on like random professions, right?
No, we not even just like we would shit on like firefighters and stuff. We'd be like, firefighters aren't that tough and shit like
firefighters
that.
are cowards. So, and every now and then you would get like people that would want to fight you. So like we would send them like locations and shit.
Yeah, we tell him to go to. One time this guy wanted to fight me. I told him to meet me at a Walgreens in Bellevue, which was like 30 fucking minutes from where I live, dude. Like I sent this guy far side. He's like sending me pictures of him in front of the Walgreens, and I'm telling him like, "Nah, I'm there, pussy. Like, where are you at?" Like,
so one time I got 2 different people wanted to fight me, right? And I told Bull, I'm like, oh, I know what I'm gonna do here. So I told him I'd be at the Cheesecake Factory out and each one of them was, I was like, all right, what do you look like? I'll meet you there at 7:30. And I got each of their descriptions and I gave it to the other guy as what I looked like. They fight
each other?
I don't know. But like I was like egging him on. He's like, I'm looking for you. I don't see you. I'm like, oh, you'll see me soon. I'm almost there. And once they scrape what's left of you off the linoleum floor, you'll regret your fucking life, you piece of shit. And like I just going in, like just riling these people up for a fucking fight. And I don't know, they both quit messaging me around the same time. So I don't know if there was a confrontation or what, but like I had both of these guys looking for each other because I got what they were wearing and what they looked like, and I sent their description to each other as me.
So perfect, dude. That's fucking best.
So who knows?
Retards, man.
That's what the Russian trolls do.
Yeah. Dude, I'm just like, dude, if you're really like that bad of a decision maker that you're getting egged on to go fight somebody off of Whisper, I'm like, you deserve to have your fucking Saturday night wasted, like, fuck,
or have your ass kicked.
Yeah, you moron. Like,
like, dude, you don't know. Like, if someone was actually crazy enough to agree to meet you for a fight on the internet, someone they've never met, they're crazy enough to bring a weapon. They're crazy enough to bring 6 of their buddies. To explain it, to kind of equate Whisper to like something maybe like more people would know about. It'd be
no, this would be like as ridiculous as like fighting somebody because you were arguing with them on like an Instagram comments thread, on like a photo. You know what I mean? Like, so that's stupid. Take Instagram. And then imagine you have no idea who the other person is. It's a randomized username. It's literally no pictures. Yeah, you don't know who it is. Like, this is a random person. You go onto their Instagram and they have no photos uploaded. Like, they have like 12 followers. You know what I mean? And fucking 400 people they're following. Yep. Like, I get those on Twitter. Those will attack me, like just out of nowhere. Like just like random fucking like no username. Or like the username's just like a bunch of numbers and like no picture and stuff like that. And they'll just like randomly just attack me. And it's like, really? Like, no comment on that. You know, I think Twitter is like the fucking dirty, stinky gooch of the internet. Oh, it is. It fucking go there, man. I avoid that place like the fucking plague. Twitter lets the loud, obnoxious minority of society speak, the 0.01% of people that think they represent everyone. But not even just lets them speak, it props them up. Yes. It tries to make you see it. You get the blue checkmark mafia that just fucking makes the stupidest fucking like points. I just like anytime I see some shit like that, I'm just like, get away from me. I don't need this negativity in my life, dude. Like, dude, it's ridiculous. Like, oh, I just pulled Twitter up right now. Pfizer CEO says a 4th COVID shot will be needed. Oh yeah, dude. I'm done with the shots. Fuck this. I'm done with the shots. I'm not getting any more. I got the first 2. Don't you think? I would think that people would look at that and think, you know, objectively, like that might be a little, what is it? Fucking conflict of interest to listen to Pfizer. Right, giving medical advice. Right. Yeah. Dude, isn't that a little conflict of interest? Like, these fucking people, they just want to make money off of it. I saw some hospital released a thing a couple weeks ago, a statement, and I think it's since been rescinded, but it said people who have tested positive for COVID should avoid taking medicine like ibuprofen, and Advil and Dayquil and stuff like that, because it could minimize COVID symptoms.
Like, isn't that the fucking point?
No, the ibuprofen thing is true. I don't know about the other thing, the Dayquil and stuff. The ibuprofen thing is true because it makes your blood thinner, and the COVID is able to basically spread through your body, through your blood.
Oh. See, my doctor told me
So-
that was only for people with kidney issues and not to worry about it. So I don't know.
Basically, they found that ibuprofen, specifically ibuprofen, made COVID symptoms worse.
Oh, so I've been popping ibuprofen for my foot ever since Mia tested positive. So
I dead ass think you are like medically immune, because not only have you not got COVID the last 2 times, but you've been fucking wilding for like 2 years
I
now.
have not given a fuck.
Yeah, dude.
I
Like
should have gotten
it's
so many
seriously
times.
going on 2 years now. It's like a year and 9 months. You've been just wilding. Like
I should have gotten it so many times.
you
by
should
now.
have gotten
I
it.
have been in packed
How did I get
stadiums,
it?
bars.
How did I get it? I was around like fucking 10 people tops for a year
Dude,
straight. And
that's-
I got it.
That's my thing. Is like all the people I know. Like I was one of the, so like when the whole thing first started and they were doing the 15 days to slow the spread or whatever, I was like, okay, I'll play ball. I'll give you 2 weeks. I'll stay at home for 2 weeks. 2 weeks go by, I'm going back out. Fuck off. I'm not doing the masks. I'm not doing any of that shit. So I gave them the 2 weeks. The 2 weeks thing, I'm like, well, this ain't going nowhere, so I'm not going to stop living my life. As soon as all the clubs opened back up, I was the first one going back doing shows. We were the first ones putting shows back on. I was on the fucking road. I was doing shows all over the Midwest and shit like that.
And crashed into.
Yeah, I almost got killed. Not from COVID. They would have counted me as a fucking death, though. And, you know, it's like I was in packed bars, packed clubs, fucking stadiums, concerts. I was at all kinds of shit over the last year and a half. Never got it. And then like the people I know that were super careful, didn't do anything, nothing like that. Wife brings it home from work. Whole family's got it. Like, where the fuck? It's like one person gets exposed. No, not here, not me. Like the people I know that were super cautious about it. They didn't do anything. They didn't go out to eat. They got all their groceries delivered, everything. Their wife would get exposed to one person at work, come home and give it to everybody in their house, take them out for 2 weeks. I didn't give a flying fuck. I ignored the whole thing. I lived my life as much as I could normally and nothing happened. So maybe that's the key. Maybe everyone else should be doing that. I don't know. That's
I think you're. I don't think that you are the fucking. I think you're the anomaly. So like, I really do.
What they should be doing is they should be studying my blood. I should sell it.
You should be careful. I was selling my blood for my COVID blood actually. But
yeah, that's true. They might come and try to ice me. You're right.
You know, no, what's gonna happen is some guy in a suit's gonna fucking trank you in the neck, and then they're gonna drag you off to fucking Baltimore, where they're gonna be fucking running all sorts of experiments on you and shit. So gotta quit yelling that too loud, man. You don't know who's listening to this.
Fucking let them try. I'll get in a shootout with the feds. I don't fucking.
They'll get you while you're not expecting. They'll get you while you're sleeping, man. You just wake up and you'll be fucking in a car and the fucking.
we got alarms on every door. We'd wake up. We got alarms on every door and window. We got dogs, man. We're
they
good.
can kill Epstein, man. They can definitely get you.
Hey, don't compare me to Epstein.
You're like shit, man.
Well, Epstein, they had Epstein in their custody, right? Like I'm on my own free will out here. I don't know. I can protect myself. Mia had because I can't walk. She has to take the dog out. So she was walking. She took the dog out the other night, and this car that was running in the parking lot. It was nighttime. It was like 11 o'clock. It just pulls out like slowly, and it just like pulled up next to her, and it just stopped. And like they just like the windows were up, and it just stopped right next to her. So she hurried up and got the dog and took it inside. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like,
I was a DoorDash driver trying to find the fucking right apartment to go to.
I told her
I'm giving the benefit of the doubt because I've definitely did that multiple times when I was a DoorDash driver. Dude, I don't give a fuck.
Scared young girls.
I don't care. I don't give a fuck what scared person is out in the front yard, dude. I'm fucking on the clock, bitch. Like fucking.
I just had a confrontation with an Uber Eats driver. The guy I get a message saying your Uber Eats has arrived, and I'm like, no, it hasn't. And they put it in the apartment building next to ours. So I call the guy and I'm like, hey, it says you dropped our food off, but we definitely don't have it. And he's like yelling at me in Arabic. And then like his daughter, who couldn't have been older than like 10, picks up the phone. He's like, we put it in the right building. I'm like, no, you didn't. I'm opening my door. It's not there. And she's like, that's the address you gave me. I go, no, it's not. So Mia goes next door to get the fucking food because I can't walk. So she goes next door to get it. And she's on the.
She gave 8 people COVID. On
I didn't even think of that. So she calls me. And she was like, I didn't even think of that. She told me, she's like, I knocked on the door and I'm like to make because there was food out in front of it. I just wanted to make sure. I'm like, oh, and you were gonna give them COVID in the process. So she calls me. She's like, I think this is our food right here. I'm like, well, just open it. And next thing I know, they came back to get the food. And I hear the Uber Eats driver open the door and start yelling at her. And he's like, your husband needs to put the right address in. He's just like yelling at her in some Arabic thing. And she had me on speakerphone. And I went, I do have the right address in.
Dude, those guys like that really, I don't know how Uber works, but I know DoorDash, man, they really underestimate the power of giving the 1-star fucking review, man.
What do you mean?
Because if you give them the 1-star review, they are getting less fucking work.
I mean? See, she got it. She's like, she came back. She's like, do you want to leave him like a negative review? I'm like, it's fucking done. I don't even give a shit. Like, I just want to eat the fucking food and be over.
You don't even need to give him a review. You just give him a 1-star on fucking DoorDash.
Yeah.
And it's tough to come, because if you don't have like basically like a 4.8 or higher, because even if you have like 100 reviews, right, one fucking 1-star will drop you.
It's like eBay. It's like eBay.
Yeah, exactly, dude. So, and then you get less work. Like, I don't know how it is in Omaha, but here in El Paso, like getting the good like DoorDash times is like competitive as fuck, man.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
It's hard to get good DoorDash times. So like if you got like less than fucking perfect, you're just getting the less reviews, man. You're getting less time, you know what I mean? It sucks.
Yeah.
It's not good.
That's that reminded me of a Reddit post I found today. It said on r/Uber, my Uber Eats driver insulted and threatened me. How should I respond to this? It said, so my Uber Eats was due to arrive. Driver calls me. Cool, it'll be here soon, I thought. The driver rings me up and explains where he is. He is on a street about 3 kilometers, must be in England, from my location. I politely tell him 3 kilometers.
Approximately 3 kilometers from my
You got your license for that food, mate. 3 kilometers from my location. I politely tell him there must be a mistake, apologize, and then give him my address. At this point, he starts swearing and yelling at me, calling me a dumbass, and going on about how I should have entered my address correctly. This is not my fault. I've had the same address in the app for 4 years with no issues. He then goes on saying how he's going to punch me in the face when he sees me, and about how fucked I am, and he is not my servant. Then he says the distance was too far and stole my food.
What a Chad.
What a fucking boss.
What a Chad, dude.
What a guy. I'm gonna punch you in the fucking face. You're so fucked. Hey, I'm also gonna
steal your food.
The alpha male.
The alpha male, dude. I've never had a bad experience with DoorDash. And I've used DoorDash like for a long time, dude. Like, so
this is the first time I've had an issue.
Man.
This is the first time I had an issue.
I don't know, man. Yeah, I mean, you could always get that one guy in literally like any fucking job. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Well, that's like, this was the first time I had an issue. Was this guy? That's how I know it was an issue. Like a girl came and dropped stuff off at our address yesterday. I didn't go in and change my address to the place next door. That would be retarded. So it's like obviously it's a him problem, not a me problem. But no, he came in and he's like, your husband needs to get the address right. And I yelled at him through the speakerphone. I was like, no, I don't. I was like, fucking asshole. Dude.
Lately with my
I hope she gave you COVID.
Yeah, you fucking dickhead.
You piece of shit.
That's funny, man.
What were you saying?
Lately for me, I've been having issues with mine where they can't find my apartment. But I usually give the benefit of the doubt on there. Sometimes it's fucking hard to find apartments.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Yeah. Like mine is like dumb as fuck, man. Like A
Same.
is over there, B, and then D, C. Like it's all like all out of order and stuff.
Yeah.
So I get it, man. Like,
Ours are like it's like the ours in the building next to it are like the two very similar numbers, and then like the next one is like 5 completely different digits, and if you put it in on GPS, it'll take you to like the leasing office, and it's just weird.
Basically, moral of the story: fuck Uber Eats.
Yeah, fuck
fuck
'em.
England.
Fuck England, fuck Uber Eats, fuck the people that drive for Uber Eats.
They're all that guy. Every one of you are that guy.
There was one time we after this, so this was the first show we did after stuff started reopening from the pandemic. We went out after the show, so we went back to my house, and a bunch of us were going to go out, so we tried to order an Uber. Now this was like 2 days after the Jake Gardner shooting, so there were still riots and shit, and we wanted to go downtown. So literally no Uber would pick us up. None of them would pick us up. So
you imagine trying to get an Uber like in the middle of fucking like Minnesota, or like you know what I mean, like trying to drive through where they're fucking burning the police station.
Right. Well, there were Ubers
like,
and
I want to go to that police station. Come on, man. Like,
dude, it was fucking surreal because like what we did was we hired a Z Trip who will pick you up under any circumstances.
What is Z-Trip?
It's all Somalis that drive for it. It's twice the price, and it's like it's a cab. So there were 5 of us.
They're not. It's the opposite of Uber, dude. They're fucking expected to carry a gun.
Yeah, no, exactly. No, 4 of us.
Hiring requirement.
So there were 4 of us, and there was a car. It was a normal like car. It was a fucking sedan, right? The guy pulls up, and this fucking dickhead made one of my friends drive separately because he had his Raising Cane's in the passenger seat and would not move it so he could get in.
What a fucking Chad, dude. The Sigma grind set right there, dude. Like
that was a crazy time to be at the bars downtown though. That was surreal. Like we were sitting there fucking drinking, and you'd see just like protesters walking down the streets like in big ass lines. And it was just a crazy time to be in like a fucking situation like that. But we didn't give a fuck. We were like, well, shit's reopened.
Imagine if the riots would have been like you know what I mean? I know Omaha had some rioting going on. Like imagine if it was like on the scale of like Minnesota, dude.
Oh god.
Riots, and you were just like fucking drunk as fuck in the middle of a riot,
man. Let's go downtown.
Just like walk outside and like people are fucking fighting with riot police and shit. And you're just like, dude.
We did. We went for her birthday, like not long after the riots in Minnesota had finally stopped. We went to Minneapolis for her birthday, and we were like fucked up in the bars and stuff like there. And it was weird because it was like when Minnesota's a little bit more concerned about COVID than Nebraska is. So like these bars were empty. Like these were like, you could tell these were like hot spots to be at, and they were like, we were like one of like 10 people there.
Man, that's always depressing when you're in like a bar and they got like a DJ there playing music and there's like 3 people in the bar. Like...
Yep, there was no one inside. It was all outside. And word of advice: you get fucked up, you're waiting for your Uber at the traffic light, do not ask the cop that pulled up to the traffic light if he knew Derek Chauvin in Minnesota. That was not my proudest moment. Given that it was like 3 months.
That's some Legion of Skanks fucking shit right there, man.
That was not my proudest moment. That cop did not find that funny, to his credit.
I wonder why, because he probably did. That's probably his friend, man. He's like, you're bringing up some painful
fucking
shit.
Buddy, man.
It's my fucking friend, and he got fucking framed. I think we need to end it there. It's late. I ain't go fucking bed, man.
We need to end it with asking cops if they knew Derek Chauvin. We'll have hopefully I'll have the next show date for January 8th, I believe it is.
I like those posters they made for the fucking shows, man. That first, especially the first one where they like cut out everybody and stuck it on there. I was like, damn, dude, that looks fucking clean, man.
Oh, the non-liquid courage.
Yeah, the non-liquid courage one you're doing with like the 12 comics on there, right?
Yeah.
That poster, whoever made that poster, that's clean, man.
Fun fact, I used to organize those shows. I don't anymore. Like they'll still have me on. I'm still cool with the owner, but I have not been asked to organize them since the last one I did. Zach Bravietti showed up they're Alexis, the owner, who's super cool. We should actually try to get her on sometime. She told me that we got a bunch of open time spots because it was like a mixed show and I was just hosting it and running it. It was music, comedy, poetry, all kinds of shit. And she's like,
they do a lot of those as open mics down here in El Paso.
Yeah, she was like, we should like mixed mics or whatever, but it was like a show type thing. She's like, you should text some of your comedy friends. So I texted Zach, I texted David Terrell Green, texted a couple other people. Everyone else was busy, but Zach shows up to a recovery center full of sober people high on acid and does a set and outs himself halfway through it. Says, this is why you don't do comedy on acid. I've not been asked to put together a show since then.
God damn, dude.
The last one they did, I had a show that night, or I was in Vegas or something like that. But apparently she told everyone, look, I don't care what you do outside of this. Like you do whatever you want. Please do not show up drunk or under the influence of drugs. It was a direct shot at him. So so there's that one, and then I got the Barnado one with Mark Sibbett. I'm super excited about. I'll be out of my quarantine by then. Even if I wasn't, I would still go to it. So who cares, right? So
you're a mute, man. You don't. What do you got? What do you care?
Can't get it. I should go get tested just to see if I have it.
I think you would still pop hot for it. I think you just don't show symptoms, man.
Yeah, well,
the virus is in there. It's just chilling with all the other fucking horrible shit you put in your body. Like,
all the garlic and ketamine. It's just chilling there with it.
Yeah, all that shit is whooping that fucking virus's ass. It's like like pushing it into the lockers and shit. Like, this is wait, bitch.
The virus just walks in. That's my cold. I've had that since before she got back into town. The virus just walks in and the fucking olive oil in my blood and the ketamine and all the other shit that I've done just starts kicking its ass.
the fucking paint particles. I don't think you've ever huffed paint.
The gasoline I huffed as a child just shows up and whoops its ass. It's like, let's fucking do this.
The trans fats.
Yeah, the trans fats. They have it outnumbered. The problem is the trans fats. The problem with the trans fats is they kill themselves at about a 40% rate.
I was gonna say the trans fats.
Yeah,
those are canceled. We're gonna get canceled for saying trans fats, dude. Like,
no, we'll get canceled for that joke.
It's the new like LGBT TF. Like there's trans, but then there's the trans fats. Like man, they're fats, but they identify as not being fat. So.
Yeah, I'm a trans.
Those are like the fat girls you see wearing crop tops, and you're like, girl, what are you doing? Like,
right?
What you doing, girl? Like, come on. I can see it's fucking talking to me. It's swinging and talking to me. Come on,
dude. That's dress for the. Well, if you don't take anything else from this episode, other than do not ask cops in Minnesota if they knew Derek Chauvin,
Uber Eats.
And fuck Uber Eats in England. It is dress for the body you have, not the body you want. Work for the body you want, but don't dress for it. Because I always say, do what you want to do as long as it doesn't affect me. But at the end of the day, a fat chick wearing Daisy Dukes that show off her ass is not a victimless crime. So absolutely dress for the body you have, not the one you want.
Oh God, those girls that are built, and guys for that matter too, that are built like a potato, but like a sideways potato.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
It's rough,
fucking
girl. You need to be wearing some trench coat or something, you know what I mean?
Parka.
Yeah,
just
parka, like a long
burka.
Parka that goes to your fucking no, because burkas are tight fitting. Like, you know what I mean?
Shit, that's right. They just wear a wedding dress everywhere, not a tight one. Fitting wedding dress. Quinceañera dress. There you go.
All right, we gotta go.
Yeah,
man.
we gotta go. All right, this has been Bread Circuses. We'll have a show date for harmful content on here for next month. Promo code will be Bread, BREAD. It'll be in the description. Peace the fuck out, y'all.
Deuces.